Oh no, end it. Just end it.
No, it's fine. We'll just.
We have to set up so much stuff.
Hey, what's up, guys? I made a mistake, and now we're going live. So you guys are going to get to see some behind-the-scenes action
of us
going live for AOM
up.
Radio. So what's up? All right.
Hey, what phones? Hurry. Oh my gosh.
YouTube.
We
Facebook,
apologize.
Instagram. We go live on these channels every single day. Well, no, not every single day. Most days. We hope you guys are enjoying the YouTube channels. We recently uploaded over 500 videos of us, all of our content. So we hope you guys are enjoying it. Leave some comments below. Tell us what you like. Tell us what you don't like. Tell us what you want more of, in fact. Okay. So that's the Instagram phone. No, that's not the, let's see.
Set up that phone.
Facebook phone. 2 days away, y'all. The Love Hour podcast. Ooh, yeah.
How do you do this? How do you do that when you turn it on?
Sorry, what are you doing?
What do you set? What do you push when you turn it on?
Talk to our friends.
You just push that?
Yeah. I thought you did that the whole time too.
No. I've been doing it the worst, the most complicated way ever.
Okay.
Look at this that I want to figure out if it would look cute. Oh, I'm totally doing it. I am attaching earrings to my headphones.
Okay. Now we're fixing to go on Facebook Live. So don't talk yet. Let me, let's see. Low self-esteem is ruining my marriage. I don't know why it always does two there. All right, YouTube.
Just fast forward. You'll be fine. YouTubes. YouTube.
Utilitubes.
Utilitubes. This is going to be the funnest thing ever.
Check. Talk. Okay. All right. Hello. What's up,
it worked.
I can't believe you did that.
It's worth it.
Ruining.
Oh, I'm not ruining them. I'm making them better.
Okay. Let's go. Ready?
It's going to be a thing that you can buy someday.
Yeah, I think so.
Where's my other earring?
That's probably right.
Check. Everyone wants headphones with earrings. I am a genius. Check. Here we go. Are you ready?
I am so smart. SMRT.
Are we ready?
We're
actually live. Oh my gosh.
What's up, Lana?
I didn't know we were live. Okay.
Right.
Ready? Hello and welcome to Anatomy of Marriage Radio. I'm your host, Melanie Studley.
What's up, guys? My name is Seth Studley. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist. Welcome to Wednesday morning AOM Radio Live, where we take your questions, your concerns, your things, and answer them. And we just keep it real. So what's up, guys?
That's right. Our show is real help for real couples because we had a terrible marriage and we don't want you to have a terrible marriage. So we made the resources that we wish we had when we were going through the hardest parts of our marriage. And every day we do 4 things. We do a prayer, an intention, a gratitude, and then we do our conversation starters of the day from the app. And we encourage you to do the same things with your spouse. So we are going to dive right on in. Go ahead.
All right. In one thing, today's show is not brought to you by the Anatomy of Marriage app, which we have. It is brought to you by getfaithful.com/anatomy of marriage. Get hooked up with a real counselor, a real licensed counselor at the convenience of any time you want, day or night, wherever you are. Text, email, call, yes.
What? Oh my gosh. So go to getfaithful.com/anatomy of marriage. The show is still also brought to you by the Anatomy of Marriage app. I wish I hadn't said that. Okay, you want to pray?
To add spots. Thank you, God, Creator, for your blessings. Thank you for this day and all that you provide. May we live out of spirit and not out of ego. And I pray that all of our listeners do the same. Thank you for your blessings. There you go.
Amen.
I don't say amen anymore.
Okay.
I'm changing my
all
right. Thoughts on that. Okay.
That's helpful. So now let's do, and again, we encourage you to pray with your spouse. So today we're talking about low self-esteem. That's what our topic is. I don't know if I mentioned that. But before we do that, we'll talk about our intentions. And our intentions are basically the behavior we want to have within our marriage that we aren't currently having that is not helpful. So I haven't inserted my second earring into my headphones.
That's right.
And I'm excited. Look, headphone earrings, because I want to wear earrings. And she loves pretty earrings. I'm obsessed with them. So.
Okay, let's read the question today.
It was intention. We were doing intentions.
I'm so sorry.
Talked about me looking like George Michael. Come on.
Okay, go. What is your gratitude for today?
My gratitude, I am thankful for the like yesterday you didn't know that it was my mom's birthday or that we were going to my mom's or my sister's house and like all that stuff. Like yesterday you thought I'm going to go home and it'll be a normal day. And it was just my family for hours.
Right.
And you did not even flinch. You're like, okay, see you there. You know, and I'm thankful for that because I know that that's not like we are with my family all the time. I know it's not like your favorite thing in the world. It's not your least favorite thing, but I'm thankful
so it's good.
I'm thankful that you adjust so easily to that kind of thing. So thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Let's see. What is my thankfulness? I'm thankful that you are on top of things, you know?
You're welcome.
I'm serious. Like family stuff, getting the kids in order, keeping the house stuff, being concerned and caring about stuff. It's that great kind of, I don't know, exchange of like you do your stuff good, I do my stuff good, and it works good. So thank you for that.
You're welcome.
You don't really waver on that. Like you don't say, oh, forget it, I'm not doing that.
Right.
That's not what you do. So I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
My intention today is to be present with you with things that we're working on. We have some calls later on. We got some stuff. And
interviews. We've got lots of stuff going on.
Yeah. So to be present with you and to be like, I don't want to do this, but I'm going to kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to stay focused and stuff today. Cool.
My intention is again to touch you more. I realize all of my alarms that say touch your husband go off and you're never around. So I don't know. You're never.
Maybe you should re-listen to the podcast last week and adjust the alarms to when I am home.
I did.
You did?
And you're not around.
Well, what the heck?
I know. That's what I'm saying. It's like a process of like, why does it go every time it goes off? Seth is either like at the grocery store or whatever. It's confusing.
I'll set them for you.
Sure.
And be in my subconscious home.
Okay.
Right.
I like it. All right. So let's jump into to today's question, which was sent to us by a listener. You can send in your questions to hello@anatomyofmarriage.com. And we're plugging in the phone really quick.
You're covering up the YouTube camera.
Oh, sorry, YouTube. You got to see my knuckle tattoos and my knuckle hair. I'm hairy.
Knuckle sandwich.
So anyway, the question is, low self-esteem is ruining my marriage. Hey, y'all, I'm really struggling with a reoccurring issue in my marriage. The core of it is that I don't listen or engage with my husband about issues or joint decisions. He will bring it up later and I will be defensive, mostly because I lack self-esteem and feel negatively toward myself. I often find myself I often find myself putting myself down in my head and then blaming it on him, bringing up my flaws. I think most of the time he just wants to be heard and included, and it's not making a comment on my character. We fight, he feels not heard and not loved, and I end up in a spiral of self-loathing. I feel like we need some new strategies, and I need to do some work on my self-esteem. Any suggestions? I love this man. I want to make him feel heard. I just feel like I am constantly failing him and causing tension.
So that's a lot there, and I have some good thoughts on it. What are your thoughts as a woman who may have felt low self-esteem before?
Will you scooch back a tiny bit and scooch in? So I don't, there's a couple things going on in this that I don't necessarily think all of it is low self-esteem. I think there is a bit of a processing thing going on. So it says, I don't engage. The core of it is that I don't listen or engage with my husband about issues or joint decisions. Like that sentence.
I don't engage with my husband.
Is not low self-esteem. That's almost, it's two things pop up into my head when I think of that sentence. One, you either are, and I'm not saying this in a mean way because I'm this way. If Seth talks to me about something and my brain is not in that space, what happens? You
just seem weird.
I literally cannot think. So it's like if I try to read a sentence and I can't make sense of what it's saying, my brain is like shut off. There is no way that you could be like, come on, Mel, figure it out. I can't. My brain does not even function in that way. So what I'm thinking is actually going on is not at its core, like, I don't engage. I just don't. I think it's like, I can't. I don't have that skill yet. And so right off the bat, I want to really, really, really evaluate what's happening and not assume it's because I think so poorly of myself. I mean, because I have, I think, adult ADD, not ADD, goodness gracious, dyslexia. And I didn't know it until I had to fill out, forms for field trips for my second grader. And I was like, I don't know where to put my name. I literally look at a field trip form and go, I don't know. And how many forms have I filled out incorrectly that you've seen?
All of them.
Oh, gosh. Well, I wasn't expecting that answer.
Every.
But really, it is a hugely discouraging struggle. And I could say, well, I'm just dumb. I have low self-esteem, so I fill out these forms slowly and whatever. No, I literally have an interpretation problem. I don't know what it means, and my brain goes when it tries to fill out the simplest form on the planet. So I think that might be one of the things going on, and I want to address it. Bill does say avoidant behavior, possibly. That is a great option too, that you're disengaging. You're not meaning to do it. You're not trying to do it on purpose, but you're like, don't know what to do, bloop, off.
Right. So you're just checking out. So I thought of some being present kind of things going on. Like the core is that I don't listen or engage. Well, wait a minute. You don't listen or engage. Okay. What's the deal with that? I'm going to go kind of more or less of a therapist, more of a coach way. Like, hey, why don't you listen? And I'm just thinking of what this person might say. Well, I don't know. It's just hard, and I don't think that my voice should be heard, and so I don't engage. Okay, well, in that case, yeah, it may be self-esteem, or it may just be like I'm not present because I'm just kind of checking out. You know how I talk about like everybody's a zombie, including me sometimes, and a lot of my clients are just, and this is including me too. We're just zombies that have checked out because we don't want to do hard stuff, and we want to have avoidant behavior, and we want to be conflict avoidant, right?
It's easier to check out. It's harder to face the truth of whatever the thing
So maybe it's you don't listen and you don't engage. That is a byproduct of not being present, right? So it's like, oh my goodness, this is too much. I'm just not going to listen because maybe he's saying things in a way that I can't understand, that hurt my feelings or make me feel less than. And so I just check out, don't listen or engage, right? So it's kind of like, this is a byproduct of something else up front that is going on. Right. So,
well, and I do want to address, like when I was back to the filling out forms and getting them wrong conversation, like when I have dyslexia stuff happen, like it says right here, I find myself putting myself down in my head and then blaming it on him and for bringing up my flaws. So that is a behavior that I had done with Seth, is like, I would fill out a form, like a tax form, wrong. Or, like a W-9 or whatever. I would fill it out wrong. And then Seth would be like, hey, this is wrong. And I would feel deeply shamed, like an absolute idiot, like a total moron. And then it would make me mad at him. And then I'd feel bad about that because I wasn't really aware that I was doing that. Like it was just a thing that was so instant. It was just happening and I did it. And then I was stuck and then I was mad, right? And so I want to think about, like, if you can think of this differently, if you think maybe I have a processing difference, I don't want to say disorder, a difference. Processing meaning you process things perhaps slower, or maybe you need 10 minutes before a conversation happens and you have a response. That's a processing difference. So what would it look like, and how would it change your view of your self-esteem if you just looked at it as a difference? A difference in personality type, a difference in whatever, instead of saying, oh, I'm so dumb, this is so bad, I whatever.
Bill says, and family of origin could be a cause if that's what you saw growing up and all. If you are simply playing out that narrative like, oh, mom really didn't engage, dad made all the decisions kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's great. So let's expand on that just for a minute in case that's what it is.
Okay, so mom kind of kept in her lane, I guess, her parentheses lane, and dad did made all the decisions, but somehow mom was just felt like, oh, well, I'm in a world where my voice isn't heard, kind of thing, and just was kind of meek, not taking up her full mom shape space. Or
if mom says her opinion, dad says something mean to her. Like that.
So you could pick up. You can go. So in some families, you do the opposite of what you learned in a response. You'd be like, no way, I'm not doing that. And then the pendulum swings 100 times to the other side, which is also cannot be healthy as well. If that makes sense.
Yeah, that's a really great point.
It's kind of like if I had an alcoholic father, I loathed anything alcoholic. I judged very harshly anything alcoholic, bars, drinks, wine, anything. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So let's see. Aaron, are you on Facebook and Instagram Live? That's cool if you are. That's fine. Okay, Aaron says, do you think the culture of our world right now, COVID and crap, causes more checkouts? I found myself being more distant lately and attribute it partly to these odd social norms. Yeah, I think that we are experiencing, so for most of us, you know, basically anyone under 40 years old, or maybe 44 years old, this is the first huge thing that we've experienced as a country and as a world. Like, we didn't live through World War II or One. We some of us didn't live through Vietnam, which was a huge, you know, kind of revolutionary, tons of protests, all kinds of stuff. Civil rights movement, or a pandemic. This is our first pandemic, you know, and we didn't live through the Depression either. So there are a lot of, I guess, mental health fallouts going on, right? Anxiety, depression, feeling overwhelmed, like, oh my goodness, what is going on? And relationships are also feeling the brunt of that. You know, oh, I've been in the same house with this person for, you know, 3 months. I just want to get away from him or her, kind of thing. And or just kind of internal anxiety, like, oh my goodness, what's going on? In fact, I saw a graph yesterday that kind of normalizes, you know, there's stages of grief. The work of Elizabeth Kubler-Ross, like denial, acceptance, anger, kind of, that's some of the grief stages. And this graph was with COVID. It was like, boom, the initial hit of COVID, like, oh, this is our reality. Oh my goodness. Then there's a honeymoon phase, kind of like we went through, like, hey, we're going to be strong and get through this. And what am I doing to not, you know,
what language am I going to learn? Right.
You know, a lot of people said that. And then there's the downward curve of like, oh, this is real. This is, this sucks. You know, we're out of money. I got furloughed. We lost our job, all this stuff. And then kind of the upswing, like, okay, this is the new normal. And then there's like one that goes back down, kind of thing. And we are in that phase. And this is new territory for a lot of us. But if we can normalize it and see it as we're all going through this, of course. So I want to make a real distinction. People say we're all in the same boat, but some have a luxury yacht with a freaking helipad on it. And some of us are over here with a John boat, with a leak, and we're sitting so low to the ground that a fish jumps in. That's a real story. That happened to us when we went frogging. Our John boat almost sank in a really scary pond.
In a pond, we were frog gigging.
So anyway, let's normalize this thing and be like, okay, we are in this together. At least you and I are in this together.
Who wants to hear our frog gigging story? Well, but I do want to say too, another thing that this time is brought up is that I noticed in myself when you couldn't, like when Target closed, for example, you couldn't go to Target or whatever. Or I guess Target never technically closed, but stuff like that. Like you couldn't go do the things that you always did. Go to Starbucks, go to Target, whatever that thing was. And it actually exposes a lot of it. Well, for one, it's like, well, now the thing that made me happy is gone. That thing I always used to do is gone. And you have to go, why does going to Starbucks make me happy? Because shouldn't I be happy at home? And you're not happy at home. And you're like, wait a minute, am I a bad person? Because I'm only happy when Starbucks is open. And then you feel shame because you're like, I still have my job. But I'm not happy because Starbucks is closed.
I'm only happy when Bakery Bo's open.
I'm only happy when I can have a scone. So there's this thing that happens where it's actually requiring us, COVID is requiring us, if we are self-aware, to reassess and evaluate what our priorities are, what our like guilty pleasures are, what things distract us, and why.
Well, remember when I told you I talked about that stat that when we got the stimulus checks and stuff and early stages of COVID, most people, like Netflix viewership went bonkers, right? Like so much so that Netflix and Amazon and streaming companies were asking people to like do something differently, like stagger their stuff, because it was just, you know, megabytes going wild. I don't even know if that's real or not, but
megabytes going wild.
But the increases of sales or consumption of junk food, beer, alcohol, weed, and porn just went skyrocketing, right? So I'm like, oh my goodness, okay,
that says something.
People are basically just it could be summed up this way. People just want to sit in their mama's lap and eat comfort food, right? Which there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, if you're an adult, you want to sit in your mom's lap. Okay, let's
Freud.
go to getfaithful.com/anatomy of marriage for that. But it shows like, what are your comfort zones? What are your go-tos? You know, and I want to get back because we got on a real tangent kind of thing.
Right.
That was a terrible segue. I apologize for that. So anyway, what are you going towards during these times of COVID and stuff?
Mm-hmm.
What are you and your partner going towards or away from during this time of COVID? Are you coming together? Or are you focusing on work or the kids and not this?
Mm-hmm.
You know, we've been guilty of like, you know, sometimes I get frustrated because all you want to talk about is like AOM stuff.
I love the podcast.
I know you love the podcast and that's good, but every single day, first thing in the morning, hey, what are we talking about today? This idea.
Now you guys know who's dedicated.
Well, no, there's dedication, but I'm like, yo, balance, girl.
Right.
Let's go make out instead of talk about the podcast.
So let's get back. Yeah, let's get back to the question.
So getting back to the question, I would say this. I would say, okay, I want you, this listener, to take a real look at what's going on.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna grab my water.
If you are struggling from low self-esteem, and that's the kind of core of it, then one of my boys, Ed Milet, talks about you build and maintain self-esteem by doing the things you say you're going to do, right? By keeping the promises you make to yourself. And I'm going to talk about 75 hard real quick. So once I committed to 75 days of these 6 things during on the 75th day when I was done, do you think that my self-esteem was like at an all-time high, or like just, oh, well, you know, I don't know what I did, but it's cool? No, are you kidding? It was at an all-time high because I kept the promises that I made to myself, and I did what I said I was going to do. And that feels awesome. That creates a belief in yourself, like, oh, wait a minute. Yeah, that stuff was hard, but I did it. Okay, I did it. Not you, not her, not him, not whoever. I did it. So, and that is not coming from an ego or a cocky point of view. It's like, the fact is, I did that. Nobody made me do it. It was hard. I stuck with it.
I am amazing.
That deserves self-esteem. That deserves confidence. That deserves like, well, yeah, I did this, you know? And it's not like, again, it's not like an ego thing. Like, yeah, I was entitled to do that. No, you did it because nobody had a gun to your head or anything to do it. You just did it, right? I
apologize for that electronic noise that people are going to hear on the podcast.
Jesse says 100%. Slow down, Seth. 100% agree with the checkout situation. My wife and I are going through her checking out because we've had to stay away longer from work due to travel restrictions. She is struggling badly with anxiety and does not want to go through marriage counseling because she knows they're going to try to put her on meds. So
let me tell you something. Meds are amazing.
Yeah, meds aren't a bad thing.
No.
And
I'm on meds. Okay. And if I'm not, I just cry all day long. Why is the phone doing that?
So don't assume that, you know, a counselor is going to hear a situation and go, sorry, you need meds. Right? I never think of meds as the first alternative, or I never refer out for meds for the first thing. I don't know why that's buzzing so bad.
Yeah, sorry. Keep on.
Yeah, sorry. So just keep an open mind on that. And also go to getfaithful.com/anatomy of marriage. They do couples counseling. They do individual. They do all kinds of stuff. Again, I'm a licensed counselor. Go there, check it out. It's convenient. You don't have to drive to an office or anything. So Jesse, go check that out.
But I do want to say, I love to look up the definition of words. I think it's very helpful to understand what we're really talking about. The word esteem means to respect and admire, right? So it says
for a person.
Oh, sorry. Are you reading that?
That was all.
So it's like you favor them, you deem them worthy, you esteem them, you admire them, right? Hold on, that sound is driving me absolutely crazy. What are we going to do?
What it is. I don't know.
Is it this? Hold on, people.
What are you doing?
It's the frequency.
Okay. Here.
It's radio waves in the air. Oh my gosh. Our life.
I have low self-esteem now. Okay, we're going to look at it this way.
Okay.
Okay.
Nope. It's back.
No, it's better. Just go. Keep on with the show. The show must go on, Mel.
It's us. This is the weirdest thing ever.
Okay.
The sound, there's digital air noise, and you guys can't hear it. Anyway, so esteeming yourself, like you can't treat a dog good, or you can't treat a dog like crap and expect it to want to be with you. You can't treat yourself like crap and expect yourself to want to be with you. Why on earth would people have low self-esteem? I think it's a chemical thing. I think medication would be gloriously helpful. There's all sorts of things you can try. There's alternatives that are natural alternatives. There's food things. There's cut out gluten. Do all these things. There's things you can do that will actually help your self-esteem, that have nothing to do with what you think about yourself, but more about what you ingest and put into yourself. But I think it's really important to think about, like, would you ever want someone to talk to you the way you talk to yourself?
Right.
So hear that sentence for what it is. Would you ever want someone to be like, you big, stupid idiot. Good job putting the lunchbox in the wrong spot, moron. Like, no, you wouldn't. You would get mad at someone if they were doing that. If you have children and one of your kids talks to your other kids like that, you are up in their face and letting them know that is not okay.
Right.
Kick your own butt. If you have low self-esteem, kick your own butt into positive gear. Okay?
Tell yourself, or make the promise to yourself, that when those thoughts in your head come up, you are going to say, you're going to shake some truth on it. You're going to go, what?
What?
I mean, you can even talk in third person, and it sounds crazy, it sounds goofy, but I promise you, I've done it a million times, and I talk about this with clients a million times too.
Right.
It's like, okay, something negative thought comes in my mind. I say, Seth, that is not true. You are not going there.
Right.
You have earned this. You've done 75 hard. You have a master's degree, and you can, like, whatever. And I'm not saying that you only have value if you do 75 hard and you have a master's degree.
Right.
I'm not saying that. It's inherently, you know, some truths about you as a person, right? That have nothing to do with what you've accomplished or what you've been given or like your privilege in life or anything like that.
Right.
And like, as Marissa Peer talks about, you can say, I am enough. I am enough. You were born into this world with a soul and a spirit and a heart and a body and all this stuff that is exactly enough for you to be living and alive, right? You had all you need, right? And you still have all you need if you pay attention to it and if you believe it.
Like universe juice style, which I think is from Kung Fu Panda. The universe chose you. Like, you might.
God chose you.
Right. God chose you. The universe chose you. Like, you're not an accident. Like, I mean, that's so hard for me to wrap my head around, people thinking that way. And I've had seasons of being depressed. I've had seasons where anxiety was like running the show, and medication. Oh my gosh, medication makes all the difference in the world for me. Healthy practices like jogging and yoga and listening to self-help books. One of the best books that I listened to recently was, what's it called? Eckhart Tolle. What's it called?
Don't know.
It was like on the tip of my tongue.
Yeah.
It's the Eckhart Tolle book, The Power of Now.
Yeah.
And he talks about having this mental breakdown where he was like, I said to myself, it's more like this. I said to myself, he said, I can't live with myself. And he's like, wait, what? I can't live with myself? As if these are two different people. The I and the myself, right? I can't live with myself, right? And the whole book is his processing that idea of he wanted to kill himself, he was suicidal, and he had an awakening in that moment.
So I can't live with myself. I call myself bad names. I put low self-esteem on myself. That is the pull between your spirit, who you are as a person, and your ego, right?
Right.
And ego, ego, edging God out, right? Edging spirit out. So when we're all caught up in living in ego, we're worried about what you say, or like, oh, did I do the right thing? Or I need this to be happy. I don't need that to be happy. If I could only do this. Wait a minute. Well, when this time comes around, when I get married, when I get engaged, when I get a job, when I have a kid, all that is your ego. You're living out of ego. And I am finding this just completely mind-blowing. Like discovering that I am unhappy. My spirit is unhappy when I am living out of ego, right? When I'm egocentric, ego forward. And I tell myself, may my spirit, my soul, who I am as a person, talk to other people's spirit. And I'm not getting all trippy, hippie.
Get trippy and
well,
hippie.
No, I'm not saying like,
Namaste,
I'm
man.
not namaste. I'm not, my spirit isn't talking to Melanie's spirit like, some meta wave. It's like, hey, what is the very absolute best, brightest, most beautiful thing in me?
Right.
See in the most best, beautiful, brightest thing in her.
Right.
And our kids and every homeless person I meet and work with, and every CEO I talk with, and every listener that we talk with. How can I live out of that, right? And it's a really beautiful thing. And I saw an image this morning. So remember, okay, so I'm getting off on a little bit, and I hope you guys stick around for this because I believe it's really good. I did my first hypnotherapy session last week, which I would love to talk about sometime on the show. And it's awesome, right? And we talked about spirit and ego. And ever since then, what have I been doing to you instead of kissing you?
Putting your forehead on my forehead,
right?
Like Buddhists do, I think.
Just like that. And in the hypnotherapy session, I didn't say, oh yeah, put foreheads on foreheads or anything like that. And then today I took a screenshot and it talked about, and it was like a man and a woman, and it had their heads together just like that, and the infinity symbol right there. And it was really trippy because I feel more connected.
Yeah.
Just on a weird meta universe level, I guess, that sounds trippy, when I do that with you, forehead to forehead.
Universe juice.
I know, and it's awesome. And I didn't read that anywhere. I didn't see that prior to this morning.
Right.
But I'd been doing that for about a week. Right? Isn't that interesting?
So think about that, ladies. How many of you? So I love it. And men. I mean, this is not just for women, but like think about this idea of your partner just loves you so much that doesn't need to kiss you, doesn't need to like honk your butt. He can literally just put his forehead on yours and stand there, and it's great, right? That is a different level of understanding and awareness, of accepting, of living. It's a different way of living. And so I want to make sure that we say the resources that we think are helpful. So Marissa Peer, I Am Enough, is one book that is really great at this stuff. It kind of, it's almost like taking a big broom and sweeping out the things that you have told yourself, like, I have low self-esteem, I can't be happy, I can't this, I'm overweight, I'm dumb, I'm this, I'm that. I Am Enough by Marissa Peer helps you literally clean out your mind. She's super practical, very funny, and British. So it's a win-win-win.
Okay.
Hold on. And then another one is the Inner Engineering by Sadhguru. It's a yogi's guide to joy. It is such a good book. Inner Engineering by Sadhguru, a yogi's guide to joy. It is so flippin' good. He also just helps you clarify, like, why are you thinking this way? This doesn't help you, blah, blah, blah. But he's really, really funny. And then also The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. These are all, they're such good books. But The Power of Now, the end of it is really crazy. Like Tripsville, you're like, what are we talking about? But the first half is amazing.
Right. So Jesse says, thank you so much. I'm a new listener. Welcome.
Welcome.
So glad you're here. And I've been trying to find out how we can work it out, as she wants to be away from me totally. My self-esteem is at an all-time low because of the uncertainty. So let me tell you something, dude. Your self-esteem is not contingent upon what your wife does or doesn't do.
I know, and that's hard to hear.
So early on in our marriage, and sometimes still if it comes up, like if she doesn't want to show physical affection like my love language is, physical affection, physical touch, then I get sometimes in a weird, trippy mood. And I'm like, wait a minute, I don't need Melanie to be some sort of way.
I cannot be his barometer of happiness.
Right, to make me feel happy. Of course, she brings me joy, and there's things that she can do to contribute to that. But I need to have that in my own self first, right? And somebody says,
from a Christian perspective, self-esteem is related to your belief that God created you and loves you, and his work is perfect. He does not make mistakes. You can feel special knowing that God loves you. Yes, I totally agree. I love Psalms 139. It says the best quote I read today: be confident because you are a child of God. Be humble because everyone else is too. We are all absolutely who and what we are supposed to be right now. Perfectly Gift. I love that.
Gift.
A perfect gift.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Carry On Warrior by Glennon Doyle.
I love Glennon Doyle.
Yeah, she's good. Okay, let's see. What else?
So
let's maybe wrap it up.
Sure. But the thing that I want to say is, for this listener, low self-esteem, girl, if you don't love yourself, who the crap is going to love you? Ain't nobody going to love you like you can love you.
That's right.
Hear those words. Nobody can love you like you can love you. And I know that sounds silly, but Seth doesn't know what I want at every minute of the day, but you know who does? This lady. If I want to feel happy, I put on any music by, I don't know, Lizzo, Trolls, BTS. Like, I love I know how to make myself happy.
Right.
I know how to listen to myself now and be like, oh, I'm feeling really flustered, or I'm feeling out of sorts, or I'm feeling whatever. Who knows how to fix that problem? I do, because I'm awesome. You know why? Because the universe picked me. God picked me. God made me. And whatever.
You are enough. I wake up now every day.
I'm way more than enough. Enough means barely getting by.
You're extra.
Right? Ooh, and I love to be extra.
So, all right, on to the conversation starters, which you can find
I'm not a snack owl, little baby. I'm the whole dang you.
Oh, my goodness.
Right.
Okay. Conversation starters, which you can find on the Anatomy of Marriage app. You guys are going there. You're doing the clearing structure. You're getting help. So thank you for that.
Yes.
Number one, what is your Enneagram number or personality type, and how does it impact our marriage? I'm a 9. A 9.
Yeah, you is.
And what are you?
I am a 7, real strong wing 8.
Right. So, these numbers, they don't make us who we are. However, it has been a helpful window into, like, oh, I do have some of those personality traits. I do notice when I am a strong, healthy 9, this is what I do. I feel good. I interact good. I'm present. I don't check out. I'm not sloth, right? And when I'm an unhealthy 9, then I do check out. I do be like, oh, that's too much.
What's the 9?
See you later. The 9 is the universal number.
Oh, yeah.
Jesus.
Aren't you at the top of the whole thing?
I am.
Or
So
you can see all the other
I'm
numbers?
an empath.
Hashtag Enneagram tattoos.
Yeah, no, I avoid conflict to keep the peace, and I try to look at things from everybody's perspective.
You're the peacemaker.
And that is very laborious.
That's right. Yes, so Seth is an Enneagram number 9.
Right.
I'm an Enneagram number 7, which is the adventurer? No, what's it called?
The butthole?
Oh, gosh. Whoa. Not what I thought you were going to say.
I'm sorry, I was pressed. I shouldn't have said that word.
I mean, it was funny. I'll never think that word is not funny.
I got in trouble for calling my brother that one time when I was a kid.
A butthole? Your mom was like, what?
She was upset.
So an Enneagram 7 is the enthusiast. So I am the enthusiast, but I have a strong 8 wing, which means I can be a real bulldozer.
Desperate to quell their anxieties, can be impulsive and infantile, do not know when to stop. Addictions and excess take their toll. Debauched,
depraved.
Oh,
but this is the bad side of a 7, right? The unhealthy side of a 7. And like, does that fit?
Yeah.
Like I'm a whiny, stupid baby when I'm unhealthy.
Desperate
I'm like,
to quell their anxieties.
It's your fault. Make me feel better. I don't know how to do anything.
Doesn't know when to stop. So that sucks if you have a partner that doesn't know when to stop. And I'm just like, I don't want conflict. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. And then the pursuer distancer. Honk honk, Bill says. Okay, so you guys, the Enneagram has been helpful for us. I prefer one website. It's called the Enneagram Institute.com, and I took the test, the Ready test, RHETI.
Oh, Delana says Jesus was 5. Busted. You're wrong.
It's not right, Delana.
Thanks, Delana.
Come on, bro.
But anyway, so I want that. This is a conversation starter from our app. I don't know if Seth really made that transition clear.
Yeah, you were singing trolls.
Anatomy of Marriage app, and we do conversation starters to help you connect. So do them every day. Go get the app. Go to anatomyofmarriage.com and get it. But that was conversation starter number 2, or number 1. Let's see. If you guys have never read Bob Goff, Love Does. Is a good one to read as a couple. He has 2 more books too. I actually saw that. I want to read it. So thank you for bringing that back up. I'll put it on my list.
I've listened to him once or twice. Yeah.
So then it says number 2, which foods bring up the strongest memories from your childhood?
I would say macaroni and cheese, like macaroni.
Like macaroni pie?
Yeah, macaroni pie is like a southern, not
right.
box trash.
Comment if you know what macaroni pie is. Throw up a heart if you've ever.
Well, if you're southern, you do. So, and I make it on occasions here, when I want to like carve out and bomb out.
Right.
So yeah, because my mom used to make that. She still does when I go back home.
Right.
Coleslaw, fried pork chops, very, very Southern. My mom was an excellent cook, or is an excellent cook.
She is.
And it was all Southern stuff, right?
I think of this is the weirdest one, but like the smell of a coffee brewer, like a very particular one, reminds me so much of my grandparents' house when I was a kid.
Mr. Coffee?
Yeah, like a Mr. Coffee. My papa would make coffee on like Thanksgiving and stuff. And even the sound of it like going when it's almost done is like a sense memory, like a smell sense memory thing. But Jell-O, like a red Jell-O cup. When I was a kid, there was a restaurant called Skipper's that I, of course, adored because anything nautical themed I was obsessed with as a child. So there was Ivar's, but there was Skipper's. And Skipper's, when the kids' meal came, it had a red Jell-O cup. And it puts me right back in like a Skipper's booth with the little map thing and the anchor sign. I mean, I've always loved nautical stuff. Who knows why, but.
So, Delano, fry bread for me.
Oh, yeah.
Give it up for fry bread. I know that you Navajos. What is it? Is it bluebird flour that y'all use sometimes at powwows? There's some folks, some Navajo folks who have stands, and they say they have the flour that I think maybe bluebird is something with a bluebird on the pack or something, but it's usually way better than the other fry bread stands at powwows. Somebody says baked mac and cheese, and also Annie F. Downs has a summer Enneagram series.
Oh, yeah. Jesse says
cardamom bread takes me back to being a kid.
Jesse says smell is your strongest sense tied to memory. Yeah, that's why I wanted to ask the question because I thought, and people don't typically talk about it.
I just had a huge insight.
Face lotion.
Exactly.
Yes.
So
apparently you hate your grandma.
No, I like my grandma. She's a very kind lady. But again, and I can tell you're wearing it this morning. I even smelled it. And you're leaving
for work. I'm going to do me.
You can do you. I'm not left yet, girl. I ain't left yet, right? So, so bluebird flour. Yes, I was right.
You got it right.
I knew it. Nobody else knows what we're talking about there,
it's
but
okay.
That's fine. Let's see.
Says same for me. We would have coffee at night and talk. We were committed.
Committed. New marriage material. Oh, okay, that's good. So what was I saying? Smell is your strongest memory.
Face lotion.
Sense tied to memory. So yeah, it's just the fact and just being romantic with my grandma. Like I can't smell that smell
and not smell your grandma.
Think of grandma.
Right, that makes sense.
So I want you to take that into consideration. And somebody said,
I don't wear it at night.
A lot of folks had seborrheic dermatitis, and they were talking about coconut oil. I don't know if you've tried that or not.
Well, I'm still going to keep using the cream that I use in the morning and the day because you go off to work. So see ya, bye bye. And at night, I will use something different, which I've been doing, which you didn't even notice. So Sarah says barbecue chicken and taco salad and homemade chocolate chip cookies. Yes, actually, that's a really good one. My mom makes homemade chocolate chip cookies and oatmeal cookies, and they're like the best ever. And she's made them all of my childhood.
Crisco.
Oh, Crisco's the best. I used to eat
Crisco on your
straight
face.
Out of the bucket.
Oh,
I would get a spoon of Crisco and eat it when I was a kid, and it was so good.
Sickening.
Like what is Crisco? It's like gear oil.
Hydrogenated vegetable oil, which is not good for your
best hydrogenated vegetable oil.
So okay, guys,
anyhow,
so those came from the Anatomy of Marriage app, which you can go check out. Also, remember to go if you need help to getfaithful.com/anatomy of marriage. You guys are going there. I see the analytics on it, and you guys are blowing it up. So and not only like you're blowing it up, cool. You guys are getting help. And this is what we want to do with the show.
Right.
To share our story, to be vulnerable, to invite you guys to share your story and be vulnerable. There's one of my favorite therapies called narrative therapy, right? And it's listening to clients' stories and helping them make sense out of their narrative and then rewriting their narrative if there were false narratives that were pervasive, right? So I used to ask her if there would be chocolate chip cookies in heaven. She made them on the day.
That's so sweet.
That's funny. I love the insight moment when the face lotion and you guys meeting each other rather than blaming.
Right.
It's a process. Notice that I didn't get pissed at her. She didn't get pissed at me. She said, it works for me. I'm still going to use it, but I'm going to make a compromise and adjustment to when you're not home so you don't smell it, right? And I am not trying to avoid conflict, still saying that like literally, it's hard to kiss or have sex with someone that smells exactly like my grandma, right? Do you understand?
Your grandma's sexy.
She's 94. She was a good-looking lady back in the day. But anyway.
She's still good looking.
Yeah, so we love you guys. Thank you for showing up. Continue to show up. If you have any questions, email at anatomyofmarriage.com. And one last thing, if you want extra funny content, go follow me on Instagram at Seth Studley. That's all, Studley. So it's fun. You also have an Instagram. It's just Melanie Studley too.
I don't post anything on it, honestly.
So
I
post
anything.
stuff daily on mine.
And also, if you've got a question for the show, send it in to hello@anatomyofmarriage.com. Anything you want to talk about, direct message us, whatever. Send us stuff. Be in touch. And again, if you want to learn more about self-esteem, the resources we recommend that are helpful, again, are Marissa Peer, I Am Enough. You can get an Audible free version of her book if you go to audibletrial.com/anatomy of marriage. Also, Inner Engineering by Sadhguru, and The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. So you are amazing. You are enough. Don't have low self-esteem. Have good, balanced self-esteem. If it's too high, you're weird. If it's too low, you're weird. Be right in the middle, because nobody loves you like you're going to love you, okay?
That's right. All right. We love you.
We do love you.
All right.
All right.
Bye, guys.
See you later. Bye.
All right. We gotta stop.
Turn everything off. Yes. Yes. End.